Just a couple more examples for those of you who are struggling. If it's ones with a number in front of the x squared you need, then feel free to just fast forward the first couple of examples. Here are the 3 steps for when we complete the square. The first thing we do, okay, remember we're trying to aim for this. Some sort of bracket and then potentially a number at the end. That's what completed the square looks like. So we know our answer is definitely going to have an x bracket in it, okay, and then something else is going to happen. Your first step is you half the x number and put it in the bracket. So that's going to be your plus 3, because 3 is half of 6. The next thing you do is you square your bracket number and you subtract it. So we square 3, that makes 9, and we take it away. This number here has stayed here all the time. We've not done anything with this number. What we've been doing is putting this bit into our completed square, and this bit is left at the end. So we've only been looking at those 2 so far. Our third step is that we then simplify. So now we've got these numbers at the end that we can simplify together, which would give us a final answer of x plus 3 in our bracket, and then minus 9, add 10, gives us plus 1. That's our completed square method. Okay. Some of you got a little bit confused with ones like this because there's no number on the end. Okay. It works exactly the same to start with. You still halve your x number and you put it in the bracket. Now, because it's a minus 18, it becomes a minus 9 in the bracket. You still square your number in the bracket and take it away. Even though it's a negative, you still subtract it. That would be a minus 81. Now, there's nothing on the end to add on. So we can't add anything on. You don't add on the x number. You only ever add on a number on its own. So this is just our final answer. There's no step 3, no simplifying, because you've only got one number here. The last type, for those of you who are struggling with these, most of us had the right idea, but we forgot to divide everything by our factor. So because we want to end up with x squared, because in all of them, when we factorise, we have 1x squared, we need to divide by this number. So I'm going to put this number outside, but I've got to divide everything by 2, so that I end up with my x squared and can complete the square. So I divide this by 2, but I also divide my 8 by 2, and I also divide my 6 by 2. Okay. Now I haven't completed the square. Some of you then thought you might have completed the square and started trying to put your bracket in. You've now got to start all over again with that bit just there. So now we're going to halve this number. Okay, so it would be x plus 2 squared. Okay, we're then going to square this number and subtract it. And then we've still got this plus 3 hanging around. Now we've still got this 2 as well. We're pretending this 2 isn't there at the moment. We're just doing what we normally did up here with the bit in the bracket. Then we're going to do our simplifying. So we've got minus 4, add 3. Okay. So that would give the inside of this to be 4x plus 2 squared. Minus 4 add 3 is minus 1. Our final step, so we don't have to have this big square bracket here we don't like, is we do the 2 times 1, which is minus 2, and then we just leave the other 2 with our bracket. Okay, so you have to halve every term, or if it were taking out 3, divide every term by 3, then complete the square as normal in this bit, and then finish off. Some of you were dividing this by 2, but then not completing the square, and some of you weren't dividing that by 2, just dividing this bit by 2, and neither of those worked out. Okay, well done, otherwise it was really good work. Bye.